say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what's coming next. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, I'd like to welcome you to the Priceless Lounge. And I am your host. I've been called many different names. But that ain't what this is about. What this is about right here, this is about vibration. Everything is vibration. And this time, we're gonna catch the right one. That motherfucker feels good, don't it? So it's about that time to just open up your ear and let me crawl into your mind. One time. Yeah. There she goes. That motherfucking piano. She's a lovely lady if you stroke her right. Let's get back to life for with it. Music is everything to me, y'all. For real. That oboe. Say, man, what it was. You already know who it is, and y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge of Self. And this right here, this ain't shit but some cosmic insight, man. And say, man, that was fun. That motherfucker felt good, didn't it, man? That was everything, man. And people don't understand sometimes how much fun is important, because it's a key factor in a lot of motherfuckers' lives, man. Some people lose sight of that. But if you have this placement we talking about right now, you won't never lose sight of that. So this right here, this is a little something about those people that have the moon in the 5th house of their natal chart. And before I even go there, I'm going to tell y'all why. It's because I have the moon in the 5th house of my natal chart. Yeah. And so, hey, man, before we actually talk about that, though, you know my style. what I'm going to do first, man, is I'm going to bring y'all a little information on what the moon is in astrology. I'm going to bring y'all a little bit on how the moon in the houses might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to tell you what the 5th house of the astrological chart is kind of all about. Then after that, we're going to bring it to a head. Burst it. So, hey, man, we ain't got no time to waste, y'all. So the moon, you know, being the closest celestial body in relation to Earth and the whole entire solar system, man, it really has the strongest effect on our moods and personalities on a day-to-day basis. The moon is your instinctive awareness. It's your emotional nature. It's how you feel. It can represent the relationship that you have with your mother or the lack thereof. In Vedic astrology, they refer to the moon as the mind, but I just really think it's about who you are inside. And think about it like this, man. You know, just like the moon controls the Earth's waters, the Earth's tides, you know, and the Earth is 65 to 70% water, your body is 65 to 70% water as well. And, you know, think about the effect it has on that. So this is your internalizations. So when we're talking about the moon in the houses, you know, the moon in the houses can reveal how and where we go about seeking emotional security and satisfaction. You know, looking at the house position of the moon, we can find important clues to the reasons for any perpetual emotional unrest we might be going through, whether that comes in the form of constant changes or just ups and downs emotionally. And, you know, that's definitely going to come in the area of life that's ruled by whatever house that she's in. And, you know, it's these areas that we should really try to make deep emotional attachments rather than superficial and, you know, temporary emotional thrills. And if we're seeking out a true feeling of belonging and emotional fulfillment, we really should look to the house placement of the moon and see how we can do it in that arena of life. So when we're talking about, you know, what the 5th house of the astrological chart is all about, you know, with the 4th being all about home and your roots, the 5th is where you kind of burst onto the scene in your full motherfucking glory, man. And it's ruled by Leo and it's ruled by the sun, and it represents the natural blooming of your character, man. And that's in its most concentrated form too, man. And it's in the 5th that the great test involves the ability to act out one's most innermost nature in terms of purity of motive. Yeah, this is the house of creativity, the house of drama, fun, and children, man. It's here that you kind of do your best shit, man, in my opinion. And whatever sign that's on the cusp and the planets in that house, they kind of show how and where your power lies creatively and even how you might portray yourself on the stage of life. Understand that? This is how you should get your shine on, man. The 5th is about your passion and what stirs it. You know, it really speaks to how we express joy for life in an outward way. And if a malefic and like Saturn is there, for instance, you know, it shows how your enthusiasm can be repressed. And, you know, this is the realm of the eternal child. And it speaks to how we have the most fun, man. For real, man. It speaks to also, you know, casual relationships, you know what I'm saying? You know, dating and casual romance and things like that also. So when we talk about having the moon in the 5th house, like myself, I mean, take it from me when I tell you that having the moon placed here could mean a whole bunch of shit. But most of all, it really just suggests that, you know, you need fun more than anything else in the world, man. And that's real, man. Here, your emotional needs and intuition are tied to creative self-expression and playfulness. And I'm playful as hell, man. It just when I think about me having the moon in the 5th house, I just think about me being a teenager and me torturing my dad. He'd be in there doing hard drugs he wasn't supposed to be doing, and I'd be hiding in his closet, hopping out and scaring him and shit. And he'd be, you know, God damn it, Roderick, you play too motherfucking much. See, that's why I don't fuck with you, man. You just play all the goddamn time. And that's just kind of how it is, man. I'm always playing. You know, I even get on my own kids' nerves playing and joking all the time, you know. And it doesn't mean I'm never serious. It just means that, like, I have a very playful nature and a very healthy inner child. It says that while there could have been any multitude of issues that a person has growing up when they have moon in the 5th, they were at least able to feel nurtured and loved in an overall sense, man. When you have the moon in the 5th house, man, your mama loved you. And you knew it, which manifested in this person with a true love for life that actually has an emotional need to enjoy the things that they do. And my mama loved me. And forever, so the short time that she was in my life for the 13 years, man, that light that she's manifested in me, it just shines out. And my mama's Pisces sun, as I tell you all the time, her Pisces sun and Leo moon manifested in my, you know what I'm saying, Pisces moon in the 5th house, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I am. You know what I'm saying? And she allowed me to be me and never bogged that down, man. And, you know, having the moon place here makes you a delightfully spontaneous person, man, who kind of finds joy in the here and now. And with the 5th being the house of drama, I'm gonna warn you now that, you know, fucking around with people like this, like myself, shit is gonna get dramatic. That's just to say the least. That's to say the least, man. Like, the emotional displays can be just like, a person with the moon in the 5th house would throw a temper tantrum on that ass if they get pushed past a certain point. And, you know, I can also say that this one helps you be able to assert yourself emotionally sometimes. And depending on the sign placement, man, you know, it could make you do it so much to the point where you're being autocratic and bossy. And that's just how it is. Now, I have a Pisces moon in the 5th house, so I'm not necessarily on that end of the spectrum, but I could definitely see how this could do that. You know, 5th house moon people typically bask in the fucking spotlight, and attention is very key to, you know, them feeling comfortable. But when the limelight is on them, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna disappoint. We ain't gonna disappoint. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna open up and share in a genuine way, man. And that's really all you have to do, man. And this means that, you know, this placement, it means that your emotions run deep, and that, you know, the 5th is also the house of romance. I'll tell you, man. So these people like myself can be very romantic, motherfuckers, just to say the least. Love affairs can often become a very major source for emotional security in your life. And when I say love affairs, I'm not talking about your marriage, you know, your partner. I'm talking about casual love affairs, you know. This one, you know, it's a motherfucker, man. Even beyond that, if you think about it, you know, when you got moon in the 5th house, no matter what you're doing, you like to be good at what you do, and that's enjoyable to you. And what's more fun than a little carnal pleasure? Nothing. I'll tell you what. Not a damn thing. And so I'd be lying if I didn't admit that this one could make a person a little more on the promiscuous side, you know. That doesn't mean that all people like this, because there's certain different things that can aspect it. But, you know, moon in the 5th house can make you a little hoish. I'm grown now, though. But all bullshit to the side, man. You know, moon in the 5th house is also a fucking huge indicator of artistic talent of some sort. And it definitely makes you an extremely creative person, just to say the least. That's in the very least. You're charming, and you have a fucking complex imagination, and you just love to play, and laughter is everything. And if you got moon in the 5th house, 9 times out of 10, like, you're probably seen as an extremely funny person by others, whether you yourself recognize it yourself or not, man. And when you got this placement, like, you have this inherent need to just go with the flow, and you're probably not very adept, you know, at living life according to some certain timetable. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you're probably not known for being one of the most prompt people in the whole world at all with moon in the 5th house. And I admit that. I can testify to that, man. And I'm sorry. I'll try. But being on time is a real struggle for me, man. You know, and here's the thing, man. You know, when you got moon in the 5th house, people are waiting for you to show up, because when you come, you bring smiles and laughter. You understand? When you got moon in the 5th house, you have a smile that makes other people smile. You have a laugh that makes other people laugh, man. And with this one, man, that inner child is just always present. That inner child is always there. And speaking of that, man, children are everything with the moon in the 5th house person. And they're extremely important in your life when you have this placement. You're intuitively good with kids, man, and they can always sense the inner child in you. And, you know, they're drawn to that. kids are drawn to that. So when you got the moon in the 5th house, like other people's kids come up to you in the doctor's office and stuff. And, you know, sometimes it's weird and it can make you uncomfortable, especially, you know, if you're a person of color like myself, you're a black dude like myself, and these are white kids are always just staring at you and coming up to you. But that's just your bag. And they just see that you smile, and all you got to do is give them a little smile, you know what I mean? And give them a little playful growl or something. And the kids, they just want you to acknowledge that they see the light in you. They see you. You know what I'm saying? Kids, that's what it is. When you have these little kids that are just staring at you and you have these placements and things like that, man, it sometimes it can make you feel uncomfortable, especially when they come up to you. But the thing is, these kids just want you to know that they see you, and they also know that you see them for what they really are. You see the light in them. It's like kids feel like you understand them, and they do, because they feel like whoever they're with, their parents a lot of times these people don't understand what's going on. They got so much going on in this house, and it's not their fault either. But when a kid sees you and they lock eyes with you like that, they understand that you understand them. And, you know, you're just inherently good with kids, man. And, you know, if and when you decide to have kids of your own, you know, this is when you do your best shit. That's where you do your best shit. You know, it's because no matter how old you get, man, you inherently understand kids, man. And no matter how much fucked up shit you go through, man, you're always going to be a big ass kid at heart with moon in the 5th house, man. And with that, because of that, even you're going to always probably look a lot younger than your actual years, man. So that's something that'll help with that, man. That's something that's definitely a positive in that aspect. So let me fix my hat, y'all. This motherfucker's pissing me off. There it is. Anyway, so I want to say this. I've talked to other astrologers, pardon me, and I've looked at charts myself, and I've developed this sense. And I really feel like that. And, you know, with me having this placement, I want you to know that if you have your moon in the 5th house, you know, I really advise you. And I've talked to other people that would do the same, to take up a sport and a creative hobby, both, if you're physically able to, man. And the 5th house also governs both sports and creative pursuits. And I really look to the sign and the aspects, and, you know, that might find out what, you know, actually might suit you best. But the thing with that is, like me, man, I've always loved football, you know, and if you're not from America, American football, you know, and I'm a avid Dallas Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? And a fight go with that. You know, I've joked before that, you know, the Cowboys are in my top 5 of things I love most in the whole fucking world. You know what I'm saying? And you see, I got kids. There's God, my family members. You know what I'm saying? My significant other. Like, hey, man, like, there's a lot in there. But the Dallas Cowboys is up there, and I just love watching it. And I also study. I avidly am a fan of. I watch. I train my boys in boxing. Like, I love boxing, and I boxed myself since I was 6 or 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about just in the streets, because I'm good like that too. But I'm talking about organized, and that's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm also, y'all see me with the music, man. Like, the music is everything for me. And that's that Pisces moon in the 5th house, man. I really do the boxing stuff more to me having Vesta and Aries in the 6th house. But with me having this Pisces moon, like, all those instrumentals you hear at the beginning of my songs, those are beats that I either composed or remixed or sampled myself. You know, I own the rights to that shit. That's my shit. You understand? I made it. So that music is everything. That's how I speak. That's why I put that in the beginning of these videos now, because that helps me just get in the right place I need to be. And so if you're able to, man, I just say that that's the best thing you could do, man. And on the real, man, that physical activity, what it's going to do if you have this moon in the 5th house, it's going to help you be more grounded and focused on the here and now, while also some form of creative outlet is really a positive way to let your emotions flow freely and, you know, get rid of the bullshit that really doesn't serve you anymore that you got going on. And you can either take it from me or not take it from me. But I have this placement, and I'm telling you, that's how you should deal with things, man, if you can. And this placement is often found, I'll tell you, in the charts of artists, musicians, actors, and comedians, entertainers, because, you know, people like this, like myself, we find emotional stability through being creative. But either way, just because you built like that, it don't mean you have to build like that, man. You don't have to feed into any of the negativity. You don't have to let anything in your chart really affect you at all, man. Because we have all this shit, all this energy available to us, man. What you do with it is what you do with it. And even beyond that, it ain't about what you do. It's about how the fuck you do it, man. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself. This has been some priceless knowledge of self. I appreciate all the love and support that y'all give me, man. If y'all interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below, or you can email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Okay? Okay? Hey, look, man. I'm going to say something else, man. If y'all want to donate, you see the link in the description below, man. And I appreciate everybody that has, but I love everybody that doesn't anyway. I love everybody the same, and obviously I'm not struggling. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. I'm going to keep repeating, because love is everything. You are love. I'm love. God is love. Don't never forget that. And don't ever allow yourself to not have fun. Because at the end of this life, you judge you. And you're going to be real upset when you realize you didn't enjoy your life because of some bullshit. Think about it. Take advantage, man. Y'all keep it true. I'll be back tomorrow, man.